Hello and welcome to another surreal lockdown version of Town TV. We are today with Matt Bell. Hello Matt, how are we doing?
All right, Steve, how are you?
Very, very good. I'm going to give you an introduction. I'm sure there'll be lots of people who will know you at the club. So you are the under-16s current girls manager. You are the development team manager. You are the co-founder or setup of Wildcats with Sarah. Better say that so I don't get in trouble. Obviously, you are doing your UEFA B. Busy man.
Yeah, all that and a little bit more. Still got a full-time job.
Yeah.
Still working. No furlough for me, fortunately or unfortunately. And we're trying to move. Call us crazy, but we're trying to move out. The same. People do know me. People will have seen me around. I was the manager of the girls under 16s. That's now the season's come to a close on that, and about half the team will be stepping away to either concentrate on going to college and doing other stuff, or they've just grown out of playing football. Whereas eight of our current players are going to step up, and they've signed for the devs and want to move into that, move into the open age team next season. Some have already been represented this season because they were 16 during the season. So that's good. It's just again another string to our bow, another bit of development that we're pushing from juniors all the way through. There's some exciting prospects in these players coming through as well.
So under 16s, there was a post that went out on Facebook this morning. Obviously, the league was stopped because of the situation, the pandemic that we're in. But it was played 16, won 11, drawn 5. You were top of the league on 38 points. The team below you were on 31 points with a game in hand. So 2 questions. Could you have won the league? And could you have finished it unbeaten?
The answer, in short, to both is yes. The team, and I'm not being cocky, but the team that were below us and had a game in hand, we had beat once and we'd drawn with them once, and they were the second best team in that league. They were actually our arch rivals in years gone by, and we'd never actually beaten them before. We'd drawn with them before, and we'd lost before. They were always quite tight games. But actually this season, I think we found ourselves 4-0 up at half-time the first time we played them. They were a different team this year, as were we. We were much stronger, and I think they'd lost a couple of players, which, that 1 or 2 players difference does make all the difference. So yes, we could have won. There was a strong Chesterfield team in there, but we actually beat them as well twice. So I think the proof's in the pudding, and it's a disappointment to the girls because we were trying to go unbeaten all season. Some of the parents were calling us the Invincibles, just like the old Arsenal team that went all season unbeaten. It was a really, really good run. Unfortunately, we didn't put the season to bed earlier. There was a few draws. You see, we got 5 draws. We've never had that many draws in a season, and it was the 5 games that we drew. We literally threw 3 or 4 of them away at the last minute. We went in until the last minute and just switched off. But learned from our mistakes, and we had a good run of wins in the end until obviously lockdown stopped that. But we only had 4 games to play, so I'm sure that we would have kept that gap and we would have continued winning.
And like you said, the transition that we're now looking for within the girls and the ladies setup is that we're going to have 6 of these players who are going to migrate. 8 now, who are going to migrate into the development team, and that is massive for us.
Yeah, well, we've had so 4 or 5 of them already made that step up and got a few appearances under the belt. Although obviously it's been a strange year for football with the cut down season. They didn't get that many games. They would have played a lot more in the devs. But we actually had Amelia, who stepped up into the devs. Her birthday is in January, so she played from January onwards and actually made a 1 appearance in the first team as well in a first season in open age football, while still playing under 16s football, made an appearance for the first team. So it's a massive jump, and there's some really, really good talent. I'm excited, definitely, and I've spoken to Dom, and he's excited about getting these young ladies pushed on through and developing even more.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. So, excuse me, Wildcats started a year ago on a Saturday morning. I came down to the back of the pitch from behind the nursery squad. We expected there to be about 20 turn up to start with. It was muted, and the pitch was full of kids, girls, running around, want to play football. How amazing is that?
It was fantastic, and it was about nearly a year ago to the day that we started Wildcats. We had a fantastic turnout, and we had some really strange weather as well. But we kept the numbers high. We actually grew two teams for the under-9s out of the Wildcats last season, and an extra under-10s team. Yeah. So we've now got 2 of each in there. So that'll be 10s and 11s respectively going into this season. We then continued, and we stopped when the girls' season starts, and we play matches on a Saturday morning. We then continued Wildcats on the evening, because we couldn't do it on a Saturday, because most of the coaches, including myself, were busy coaching our own girls' teams. But that was pretty shocking weather, and we were getting regularly 25 attendees to a Monday night session, and even on the worst sessions, myself, James Stubley, and James Neighbour would be down there, rain bouncing, coming in sideways, and we'd have 15, 20 girls, which is very good. We have been advertising. We are waiting for a break in this lockdown, and Wildcats will start up. If it's in the summer, if we get unlocked in the summer, Wildcats will go back to Saturday mornings, where we will run 10 till 11 down at Gosforth, just like last season, and then we will look to put another session on, probably on a early Monday night or a different night if we can get it, but continue that again. It's just the response that we're getting, the girls that we're getting, and actually the talent that we're actually seeing and coming through is fantastic. So it can only be a good thing in developing and building up that base of players to move forward. We've never been as strong as we are now, and we'll continue to grow, and we'll continue to be to get stronger.
I think the 2 key things from it is that I know at the start we were allowed funding, and I think we asked for a funding for 50, and the FA turned around and went, "You'll never do it. You'll never get 50," and we did. And it was testament to the club and the coaches who do it, that word got around, that we are a decent setup, and that more and more people want to come and play for town.
Yeah, I'd like to take a bit of credit, but actually the idea, the vision, the setup, the hard work last season to start up Wildcats was all Sarah's work.
Yeah.
And I only went really as a coach and an advisor, and then because Sarah took on the club secretary role, which is obviously a more in-depth role with a lot more responsibility, I then stepped up and said I'd take over Wildcats so we didn't see it drop. So that she started it. It was her vision. It was her drive. She's passionate about football in general, but especially girls and ladies football. So with that, she set the foundations for a fantastic setup all the way through, from 5 years old all the way through. And even if the FA did pull the funding, or I'm sure we will continue along the line, something like our nursery, but for girls itself. I don't know where Wildcats finishes. I hope that the FA continue it. It is quite a good scheme that they've got going. But if not, we'll continue it. We've got a strong following. We've got a strong band of girls, and I'm missing it. If there's one thing that I'm missing in lockdown, yes, of course I'm missing football, and I'm missing the games, but I'm just missing seeing them kids, young girls coming down, relatively new to football, running around, smiling, laughing, making friends, making memories and having a good
Yeah,
time. And
yeah,
it's just such a shame that what's happened now, because we've got beautiful weather week in, week out at the minute. I don't want to tempt fate, but the day after lockdown, we're going to get thunderstorms and we're
yeah.
not going to get the weather like this. But it is such a shame. I am missing all them little faces, and I know that people are excited, waiting to come back, the players, the girls, and the coaches.
And I think, finally, well, two things, but finally, I've been down, like you said, the ones we've got now who stayed on, who aren't playing for a team, they've been down there when it has been absolutely bouncing down with rain. And we've had 25 plus who still just want to train. They don't walk off the pitch, they don't go and hide, they train. So fair play to them.
Yeah, no, go on, sorry.
The other bit I just want to say, we have now got a new under-9s team that is a progression from the Wildcats. But we do need more players. We've got a manager. So this is your chance to shout out for or advertise.
Yeah, well, we so out of the players that we've continued to attend, we've got I think 5 or 6 players that are wanting to join our new under-9s girls team. We've got a manager in as James Neighbour, who's you'll know well, and he helps out and coaches with one of our boys teams. He's volunteered to step up along with his wife, Lindsay, who will do helping with some of the admin and stuff. We've not quite twisted her arm to get her on a coaching course yet, but we'll get her all the other stuff, and she'll help. I'm sure she'll be a fantastic help to James on the administrative side, and then helping him set up and running. He'll obviously have mine and Sarah's full support as well, as will Lindsay, and we'll point him in the right direction. But yeah, if there is any girls, and it's years 3 and 4, school years 3 and 4, that want to play, that want to have a kick around, it doesn't matter how good they are or how bad they are. Everyone, we know everyone, that there's a team for everyone, and everyone's got to develop, and they've got to, there's a space for everyone on that team. Awesome. So you should see the adverts. Follow Dronfield Town on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you'll see our adverts on there. My contact details are on there, and you can get hold of me anytime.
Awesome. And James does a good job for our under-14s class as well.
James is fantastic. He's another one that spends a lot of his time. He's a busy man, and he spends a lot of his time, essentially coaching and looking after other people's kids, for nothing. Which just shows you how what decent people we've got, what decent coaches, bunch of coaches we've got, and people that are committed to the club.
Yeah, definitely. So 1 year ago, we talked, and we started this other team called the Development, Ladies Development, or the Devs, as they're more fondly known. So talk to me about the Devs. We're 1 year in. How's it been?
Essentially, it's been a success. Clearly, we've not had the best of seasons because of the restrictions that have been put in, because of these are just strange times that nobody's ever had to go through before. But yeah, it was successful. So I'm sure that there was, people thinking might not get off, and you might not get enough players. We actually had more than enough players, and that was even with injuries and people not being able to attend because of work or family commitments. And we still, all but one game, put 11 girls out on the pitch. One game we had to put 10. We only lost 1-0, so that's not too bad. We've won some, we've lost some, we've learned a few lessons. But what we have done, and what we've always said, myself and Calvin, is that we see a development from the start of the season where we were to the end of the season. Now, we didn't get a chance to complete the season, but we definitely got a lot better. The girls got to know each other. It wasn't bad for a first season, a brand new team thrown together, new girls arriving essentially all season up until March, when we were getting the devs that were turning 16, the under 16s that were turning 16 and could sign. But it was a success. We've got a real good bunch of girls. We have 13 that have signed already. We've got one that's still undecided. We've had a couple that's left, but one for work reasons. She's undertaking a police officer training, so obviously she can't commit, and that's fair enough. Yeah. We've also got 2 of our current under 16s, or last year under 16s, that aren't quite 16 yet. They're not the 16 until June and July. As soon as they are, they'll be signing. That takes us 15. And then we've had, we've got an advertisement out now. We're doing a bit of a recruiting campaign, and we've had 4 or 5 that are interested. 2 or 3 of them maybe first team players, but 2 or 3 maybe or definitely are development players. So we've got a good setup, a good size squad, a good strength squad. And we are looking forward to going again next year. It'll be easier because we've got all the basic things in place, all the administrative things. We've got kits, we've got equipment, we've got a training slot, we've got, coaching staff. So it is, it's still a work in progress. It's definitely a 3 or 4 year program for me and Calvin before we even look at changing anything. We always said that we're committed, and we'll continue doing that.
Very good. And we have got some talent. I mean, I've been to a couple of games and see you haven't lost when I've been to see you. And when they put their mind to it and when they listen to your clear instructions, my God, they can play football. They can play some decent football.
Yep, they are. They're players. These girls that are regularly turning up, they are committed. They do want to play, and some of them are extremely talented. A few could go a long way if they put their mind to it, and if they see, if they so wish. We can only coach and help develop that talent and try and nurture that and push them forward. But considering that we are playing in an open age league against mainly, teams that have been formed, I think we were the only new team last season. I'm not 100% on that, but I think so in that league. So to say that we were only formed last season, we only started playing together, a new team, we actually did all right. Some of the teams have played together for 4, 5, 6 years. Sheffield Wednesday development team. I know the coaches very well, good bunch of guys, and they're a fantastic bunch of girls. But they've played together for about 8, 9 years now. Yeah. So they've been, they've been all the way through with the same coaches, the same bunch of players. So, it must get easier, and the more the team get to know each other, the more they gel and integrate, the better the team will become. I must stress that development is not about winning and losing. Development is about making players get better, and it is what it says on the tin, developing them, getting them to that next level where they're knocking on Dom's door and the first team's door and saying, hey, look at me. Right, why don't it might be me phoning Dom and saying, why don't you come and have a look at this girl? I think she's ready. Or why don't you come and have a look at this young lady? I think she could do a job for you in that position. And that's where we want to get them.
Sure.
If they don't progress from us and they go to want to go another way to another team, then fantastic. We wish them well, and we've had a couple of players that have wanted to do that this season. It's all about development. That's exactly what it is, and that's all we want to see.
Yeah, good stuff. So you mentioned Dom. We have a new first team manager who's come in. Obviously, you've seen the interview I've done with him. You've had probably plenty of Zoom meetings with him and Carl and Calvin and everyone else. But what was refreshing for me is the fact he's already said the juniors girls are the academy to the first team. He sees the whole structure now as we've got an academy that we want to transition all the way through for these girls to step up and at one point play for the girls team. How good is that?
Yeah, again, I think it's nice having somebody from the outside come in. We've also done the right thing in recruiting from within with Carl onto that training, to giving a junior coach a bit of an opportunity to be able to step up and step into a more senior job role, shall we say. Yeah. But Dom has come from somewhere where he's experienced the whole academy setup. The ideas he's brought with him, you can see will clearly work in that sort of environment. And he's just it is a bit of a refreshing change that he's brought these ideas in. He's been nothing but communicative with me and with Calvin. Like you said, we've got a Zoom meeting in a couple of hours just to talk through. And each week we'll talk about something different and bash some ideas about. Probably go away the rest of the week, mull them over, fire some emails backwards and forwards. But yeah, he's very, very supportive. He's very on side. He's definitely, and I didn't choose him. You know, the ladies players chose him as their candidate for manager.
Yeah.
But he's very, very much aligned to what my ideals are, and I think to what the rest of the club's ideals are. He wants to progress them. He's brought in a couple of things, or allocated some of the players that I think are perhaps need a little bit of mentoring, but from players rather than coaches. But they are, you know, they've got enough talent. They've got that. They're just knocking on that door of that first team. He's allocated their mentors, so they're going to work closer together. They're going to get probably a bit of guidance off these players. We've managed to pair them up in similar positions and playing styles, and so you know, so they've got a bit of commonality between them, and they can share some ideas, and hopefully that's another string to the coaching piece, the development piece. We're developing them as people, not just players.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it's good for someone who's been here such a short space of time in these lockdown circumstances. He gets the club. He's bought into it. He's got his own ideas, obviously, but I think he gets, from the club perspective, how we want to grow it, how we want to nurture the girls into the ladies. So it is a fantastic opportunity and a long-term project for him.
Yeah, I get exactly that. He's bought into it from the start. He wants to work closely. He's interested in everything that's going off, football side, pitch side. You know, he's keen to learn. I think he's keen to learn himself in developing himself. He likes to ask a lot of questions and bounce ideas. You know, I've been coaching a long time. Calvin's been coaching a long time. Probably we're just by virtue of our age, we're a little bit older than Dom. Although I look the youngest out of all of us. But he's, you know, we're bouncing ideas. He's good that he's the first team manager. He's not just my idea. He's really, really open to getting some ideas through and some feedback back. I must also say he's very, very pro getting the players' ideas. You know, I know all the stuff he's asked for, or he's talked to me about. He said, well, it's the players that want to do this, the ladies want to do this, the ladies want to do that. So we are going to make some changes. We're integrating more with the devs and the first team, because I think we're going to work a little bit more like Chris does with the already has done in the past with the firsts and the reserves and the 19s, where they all train together. And I think that's you know, that's the dream. The step up is 16s development and then first team if they so wish.
Good stuff. People will be able to see Dom, obviously, because he's already done a video. While they can't see him at the moment round Stonelow or round Gosforth, I suppose if anyone's looking for him, they can look on Twitter, because he's never off it. Have you seen how many times he tweets?
Yeah, he's a big advocate of Twitter. And actually, me and you, and I know you're laughing now, we planned to do this last night, but after Dom had done his retained list and released it on Twitter, he then dropped me right in it by saying, and tomorrow night the devs will be doing the same. So last night I was doing my retained list and getting that out on Twitter. Yeah, he's a very keen user of Twitter.
He is.
But you know, again, it shows another side of him where he's engaged, he's communicating, and he's actually, again, he's bought into the club. Although we do need to get him a bigger shirt.
I'm saying nothing. I can't.
Sorry, Dom.
Okay, one more thing from me. Sheffield Wednesday or Luton Town?
Now you're asking. I'm a Wednesday boy. Yeah, married to a Luton Town fan. I never minded Luton Town. Never ever have minded Luton Town. But they won't be in the Championship for much longer once the season recommences. And then it doesn't matter. You all know that Sarah's an avid Luton Town fan. I've been to the National League playoff finals at the Etihad. You know, we've travelled around to watch Luton Town. Sarah's been to watch Wednesday. It's my second club, just by the virtue of who I'm married to, as is her second club, is Sheffield Wednesday, by the same. But actually, in this house, there's only one football team.
Brave man, brave man. Well, hopefully she watches all of this video all the way through. Mate, just one more bit then, very quickly. How's the UEFA B badge going?
It's not. It's lockdown. We've had a couple of online sessions, but we should have been doing our first session this last week, just gone. But we're just waiting. I know all the courses. We've got Carl and a couple of others on the level 2 booked on, which should have started. In fact, they should have nearly been completed now, and that's all gone to the side. So we're just waiting for Julie at the county FA to give us the nod and say, yeah, we can start. I think it's the next dates, lump of dates we've got now is towards the end of June. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, hope that lockdown, gets lifted and we can move on. But we've a little bit of project work going on. And like I said, we've had a couple of online meetings, but nothing to write home about.
Awesome. Well, all right, mate. Well, thank you very much for your time on here. Enjoy your next Zoom in a couple of hours with the other guys. And stay safe, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, Steve. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.